Where's Mr. Lee?
Oh, John. Oh, he's in a. First person.
I don't do that. Yeah, that's up to you.
Okay.
I'm not with
Is there no?
We're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Tiana Alexander, file number 23-01192. Council appearance.
Georgia, on behalf of the people.
Your Honor, Mr. I think that's who Mr. Lee is with right now.
Okay, no, that was scheduled for 8 o'clock, and it's 9. Mr. Alexander,
Yes.
you can have a seat right there. Council appearance.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Tiana Alexander.
Today's the date and the time set for a final pretrial. There was no offer at the last court date. Was there an offer extended today?
I did extend an offer last week. We have not discussed it. The defendant will be taking that plea today.
I'm sorry. It was
Yes.
scheduled at 8 o'clock. It's been an hour.
We are taking.
Okay. We have a plea sheet.
I will fill one out now.
We have an advice of rights. She should be a white piece of paper. I
A white piece of paper.
think one is for restitution. Is there restitution in this?
No, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Are there plea sheets over there?
There should be.
Sorry. What is the
You have to,
It's in the.
you have to complete the plea sheet.
Yeah, you have to, that's not, you should.
Oh, that's an advice of rights.
Yeah, I look.
Let me see. There's no plea sheets over
Your
there.
Honor.
We'll print you some. Okay, we'll get back to Ms. Alexander while you all do paperwork. We're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Cruz Borrego, file number 17-04314.
Your Honor, he went to the bathroom real quick. He'll be right back in a minute.
On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Brian Cannon, file number 23-01191. Council appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. George, in the back.
Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Brian Cannon, who is present and going to be standing to my right.
Thank you. Mr. Cannon, how are you? Today's the date and the time that was set for a final pretrial. There was no offer at the time of the pretrial. Was an offer extended?
Your Honor, at this time, I believe defense wants to make a motion.
Your Honor, I do believe the necessary witnesses appeared today, but they are not willing to proceed, so we would just ask for dismissal.
I'm sorry, if the necessary witnesses are here and they're not willing to proceed, why aren't you making a motion?
Your Honor, I believe in the interest of justice, I'd like to I didn't know if the people would like to dismiss or not. I just relate to the defense, but I believe in the interest of justice, this case should be dismissed.
Okay. The witnesses are in the courtroom?
Yes.
Okay. You don't want to proceed on this case?
No.
Okay. Okay. Your motion to dismiss is granted, and we'll get you a nollie to prepare, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional matters for the record?
None for the defense, Your Honor.
George, what's your P number?
86501.
Okay, that was Mr. Cannon. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Sandra K. Cantwell, file number 23-00941. Council appearance.
Morning, Adam George, and back for the people.
John Lee.
We're gonna tether Mr. Lee today, I see. I'm not gonna put a tether on Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee, you're gonna get a GPS tether today. Council appearance.
Assistant Public Defender on behalf of
Cantwell.
Ms. Cantwell.
Thank you. Today was the date and time set for final pre-trial. How are we proceeding?
We are accepting the prosecutor's offer to plead guilty to disturbing the peace.
Okay. How are you, Ms. Cantwell? Okay. Is this disturbing the peace, civil infraction or misdemeanor? Already with the offensive rights of that meeting. Ms. Donnelly, who else are you,
Mr. Borrego is back in the room. I do have Natalie Ott.
Okay. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Cruz Borrego, file number 17-04314, council appearance.
George, and back for the people, yeah.
Ms. Cantwell.
And Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant Cruz Borrego, who is present and standing to my right.
Thank you. Today was the date and time set for final pre-trial. How are we proceeding on this matter?
Yeah, I believe the defense is going to plead guilty today. We are going to ask for restitution hearing.
Yes, Your Honor, that is, we were gonna plead as charged. There was an agreement to no upfront jail. And yes, an agreement that there will be a restitution to be sought, but we'll need to have a hearing on it.
Okay, can I have a ice break? Is the necessary witness here?
Yes, Your Honor.
I don't have the, I don't remember signing the Dolly. Did you sign it? Oh, okay. So
Oh, I didn't know it was not signed.
I thought they were leaving and I didn't sign it.
You're right, Your Honor. I would have preferred that they had it when it was signed.
Printing another one.
You want to tell them to wait?
Green.
Another one? There's one right there. There's one right there. That one's not good. For Nolly.
She give it to them.
She gave it one side. Got it. I don't know what's going on. Is it full moon? What's going on? I don't know what's going on in here today. Thank you. They have to sign this.
Yeah,
Did she give you that one? Is that one signed?
No.
Okay.
she already has one, Judge. On his desk.
Okay.
They never gave that to him, but I gave him one on his desk.
Sounds good. What's his name?
Cannon,
Cannon. No,
right, prosecutor, George. K-N-I-C-N.
George,
Yes.
we're just on the record waiting. And I need the Nolly sign.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes, please. You can turn that down. Okay. I have an advice of rights and clear information sheet here, Mr. Borrego. Okay, did you read this document? You understand the rights listed here? Is that your signature at the bottom? Do you have any questions about these rights? You understand that you have the right to be represented by an attorney at a jury trial in this matter?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have a jury trial. You have the right at the time of jury trial to the presumption of innocence. You understand that?
Right.
And that presumption of innocence continues until the prosecution meets their burden at trial, which is to prove each element of the charge being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that? You have the right to confront and cross-examine any other witnesses that the prosecution intends to call. You recognize that? You have the right to call your own witnesses or present evidence at trial that you believe will further a defense to this charge. You understand that? You have the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you. You want to give up all of those rights today and plead guilty to the charge? I'm sorry?
Yes.
Anybody threatening you to get you to waive your rights and plead guilty? Anybody threatening you?
Oh, no.
Okay, did I swear you in? Is that why you raised your hand?
No,
I thought she said-
you didn't hear, yeah.
I didn't, I thought
okay.
you said raise my right hand.
I thought I was swearing. Did I swear? Oh, well, there you go. Do you solemnly swear, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay, so you understand all the rights that I iterated to you, sir? And you're willing to give all of those up today to plead guilty? And no one is threatening you to get you to waive your right to plead guilty?
No.
What about any promises? Anybody make promises to you in exchange for a guilty plea? Are you currently on probation or parole? You understand that a guilty plea could result in a conviction that you may need to report to your employer, or you may need to put a conviction on a future job application. Okay, you understand that a guilty plea could result in a conviction that may have impact on travel or immigration status you may be seeking? Okay. And are you entering a guilty plea because you believe you're guilty?
Yeah.
Oh, as to the charge of stolen property, receiving and concealing $200 to $1,000. How do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
Factual basis, counsel?
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, Mr. Borrego. Back in October 11th of 2016, were you at, is it, yes, was it, is that Dicker and Deal, or is it the 318 South Foster? Or is that the home? That's the house. Okay, so you were at 318 South Foster in the city of Lansing, Union County, state of Michigan, correct? All right, and at that time and place, did you possess a ring that was stolen, or you had reason to know that it was stolen, belonging to Rodolfo Gayton? All right, and did you what happened to that ring?
I need you to speak up because we have to get you on the record.
I took it to a jewelry shop. So they gave me money for it.
All right, and do you remember how much money you got for it?
I don't, honestly, I don't.
Okay, because obviously this was back in 2016. Okay. All right, Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Any questions from the prosecution?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, are you disputing that the value of the item was between $200 to $1,000?
Yeah.
Or you not?
Are you
Oh, I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
Yeah.
But you wouldn't dispute it.
Okay. I'm satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea and find your plea be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. This matter will be set for sentencing and restitution hearing. It'll be August 21st at 8:30 in the morning. When you leave here today, sir, you need to go down one level to the 5th floor. You'll meet with our probation department. They'll get you squared away so you can get set up for your pre-sentence report. They'll provide me with a report about how you should be sentenced. So you got to fill out some paperwork today, okay? And then they'll set you up for an interview. Do you have any questions at this time?
Your Honor.
Okay, you still have the address in Crystal, Michigan?
Correct.
Okay. Any additional matters for the record today, counsel?
Not for defense, Your Honor.
Anything for the prosecution?
Not at this moment, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. You're all set.
Yeah, we're down, I'll say probation on the wall.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a good one. Back on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Sandra Cantwell. Parties were going to complete some paperwork. Was the necessary witness here?
Yes.
Okay. So waiting for the paperwork.
Should report you.
Yes, please. Okay.
You have to sign it.
Let's do this.
I'm not familiar with those pre-sheets. We do have those down here. I just didn't recognize it.
No worries. Okay, so I see here that the people are offering Ms. Cantwell for you to plead guilty to the misdemeanor of disorderly disturbing the peace. You understand that offer?
Yes.
You want to accept that?
Yes.
Okay, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury? Thank you. You can put your hand down. Okay, I have a device of rights and the information sheet with today's date on it. Is that your signature, ma'am?
Yes.
You read this document?
Yes.
You understand each of the rights listed here? Do you understand each of the rights that's listed on this
Yes.
piece of paper?
Yes.
Okay, and are you willing to waive all of these rights today in order to plead to the amended charge of disorderly disturbing the peace?
Yes.
So you understand that you're gonna give up your right to trial. You have the right to have a trial by jury. You have the right to the presumption of innocence, and that presumption carries until the prosecution meets their burden at trial, which is to prove each element of the charge being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You want to give up that right today?
Yes.
Okay. That means you're also going to give up your right to cross-examine any other witnesses that they intended to call against you. You understand that?
Yes.
You're going to give up the right to call your own witnesses to trial or present evidence at trial that you believe would show a defense to this charge that's being brought against you. You understand that? You also give up the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you. You want to give up that right as well? Anybody threatening you to get you to waive your rights?
Yes.
Who's threatening you? Well, I just asked you, was anybody threatening you? You said yes.
So yes. Yes.
Okay. Any promises being made to you to get you to waive your rights and no one's threatening you?
No.
Okay. And you understand that a guilty plea could result in a conviction that you may need to report to your employer?
Yes.
Okay, and a guilty plea can result in a conviction that may have impact on immigration status you may be seeking, or travel status, like you might want to go to Canada and a conviction could impact that. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay, you still want to waive your rights? Are you entering in a plea because you believe you're guilty?
Yes.
Okay, as to the amended charge of disorderly disturbing the peace, how are you pleading? Factual basis?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Cantwell, on or about March 21st, 2023, were you at 1034 North Cedar?
Yes.
And that is in the city of Lansing, county of Ingham, state of Michigan?
Yes.
And at that time, did you have an altercation with Matthew Cantwell?
Yes.
And as part of that altercation, was there yelling and loud disorderly conduct?
Yes.
Did that spill out the back door into the backyard?
Yes.
Thank you. No further questions.
What's loud and disorderly conduct?
Were you yelling?
Did make or excite a disturbance.
Well, I'm asking her to give us factual basis.
So you were yelling?
Yes.
Okay. Did you push or shove?
No.
Okay. Did you slap or hit?
No.
Did you scratch?
No.
Okay, so it was mostly yelling and carrying on.
Yes.
Inside your home?
Pardon me?
This was inside of your home?
It was inside and it went outside.
Okay, went outside, okay. Need additional factual basis.
Yes, sir. This, was that on public grounds outside?
No, it's on my deck.
Did anything occur out in the front yard at all, by the sidewalk? No.
I mean, I don't think it's. It was on the street. The street.
I understand what you're saying, so we cannot. I'm asking-
Unless she's saying, it's public, I'm not sure she's.
Well, her
Are you gonna
backyard
amend
is-
it to a civil
Oh, it's the
infraction?
backyard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Report for
It's
that.
the backyard.
Yeah.
She was yelling in the backyard.
Yes.
I don't think it needs factual basis. Maybe we can change the plea. I mean, I
Are
I
you
have a-
willing to amend it to a civil infraction?
no, we can do it to a jostling.
Jostling? I don't know that her factual basis will
She-
do jostling. She said there was no scratching, touching.
the civil
She
infraction
mentioned it
is-
was in the street.
But that's not
No,
a
she said it
jostling.
wasn't in the street.
Not in
She
the
said it was
street.
in the backyard. Civil infraction still produce the crime. I think we're gonna need a recess for a couple minutes to iron out the details.
Okay, sounds good. We'll go off the record on that. And we'll go on the record in the matter against Tiana Alexander. Okay, need the paperwork for that one. And we do have the necessary witness here on that.
Yeah, I sent it home already. Yeah, I sent-
Sorry. You have a police sheet?
uh,
For Edward Wallace, he was set for a sentencing at 8:30. My, I live on Violent, he's in Ogama County. So I don't know if we had him down for the bit or whatever. Wallace, yeah, 8:30 sentencing. Okay, yeah, he might not be because I just don't know.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, thank you.
Just did it.
Thank you.
Mhm, yeah, okay.
Okay, I have. Okay, I think you put it under the charges. You're amending the domestic violence to disturbing the peace.
Yes, Your Honor, I believe this MDOB, he should have That'll be.
I'm sorry?
I see it, there's an MDOP on there as well. I mean, I should,
Yeah, so you put under charges, you have to put the offer right there, offer by the people.
I adjourned it if it was for. Yeah, it's been adjourned.
I'll go tell him. You want me to tell him to
Yeah,
leave?
Okay, the people are moving to amend the original charge. Okay, so you're amending domestic violence to disorderly jostling under MCL 750.1671L, and you're dismissing the malicious destruction of personal property, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, there's no objection to sentencing under HYTA, accurate?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay, and your client wishes to accept that offer.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, can you please stand and raise your right hand? You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury? Okay, did you pick up? Okay, you have to pick it, you have to speak in your outside voice so that we can hear you on the record, okay?
I did.
Thank you. Okay, I have an advice of rights and pre-information sheet here. Is that your signature here?
Yes,
Did you read this document?
yes,
You understand the rights listed here?
yes.
Okay, do you have any questions about any of these rights?
No, Your Honor.
Are you willing to give up all these rights today in order to enter a guilty plea to disorderly jostling?
Yes.
Okay, you
Your Honor.
understand?
I just let you.
Do you have to plead guilty for Haida or can you plead no contest for Haida?
I think it would be, yeah, I have to say this. I remember I had this issue a while back.
Do you need a moment with your client? I can get
Yeah,
time.
we're-
Okay, off the record. We're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Natalie Ott, file number 23-01156, council appearance.
Morning, Honor, George and Anna Babb for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of defendant Natalie Ott, who is present and standing to my right.
Thank you. Today was the date and the time that was set for final pretrial. There was no offer at the time of the first pretrial. Was there an offer extended today?
Your Honor, you're right, there wasn't an offer at the pretrial because I don't believe prosecutors had contact with the alleged victim. The alleged victim did appear here today, so the necessary witnesses are ready to proceed. At this time, Your Honor, I do believe that we could have a plea offer for today.
Do you believe we could have a plea offer for today?
We
Was
should
there an
have a
offer?
plea officer, but
We kind of discussed, we didn't decide, we just kind of jumped in on it.
Okay, so typically when I ask if there's a plea offer, that's a question for the prosecutor.
There,
You can
there
tell
will,
me whether or not there
there,
was an offer.
there is an offer, I just have not extended it yet. I have not extended it yet.
Why was an offer not extended when this was set for 8 o'clock this morning?
We were still discussing other matters, Your Honor. If you want to give us a few minutes, we could,
I don't want to give you a few minutes because this was set for 8 o'clock.
Your Honor, what I would like to do is, well, no matter what the offer is going to be, I think we need time to discuss it. I would prefer if the alleged victim wants her to be on probation, I'm thinking maybe a deferred sentence or something on HIDA. So at this point, Your Honor, I would like, we have a jury trial set, if we can set it for, extend this final pretrial, and then I'll have a time to discuss these offers with her. And, you know, and we'll decide please. I believe
You
that.
said if the victim wants her to be on.
Well, it's my understanding the victim, she has completed services at Glass House, but a term of probation, they believe it would be appropriate, her mother. Yeah, her mother believes that a term of probation would probably be more than appropriate, just to keep a little supervision over her. And I don't mind that as long as maybe she's only 18, Your Honor. If there's an opportunity, we can have this dismissed or, you know, sealed off her record, I would.
What was the offer?
It would be something, it would be probation and it would
The
be
offer can't
HIDA.
be probation. What's the offer?
Plead guilty as charged with HIDA.
So there is no offer. It's plead guilty to the charge, but since it's under HYTA, no objection to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so she needs time to consider that.
I would at least like an opportunity to at least get her opinion off the record, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay, we'll go off the record on that. And you have some people here for sentencing.
Yes, I do, and I will be ready to go with those. And there's also restitution hearing on Watkins.
Watkins is here.
Yes, Watkins is here.
Okay, what about McFarland? Because he's been sitting here for a while.
Yes, McFarland, I'm ready to go too, Your Honor.
On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Angus McFarland, file number 20-01512, council appearance.
Good enough for people.
An Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant Angus McFarland, who is appearing separately by video.
Really trying to understand why. Really to just lay out set for sentencing.
Your Honor was originally charged as a driving while intoxicated offense.
Okay, sounds good. That would make sense. Okay, I received a pre-sentence report and recommendation. Did you receive that?
I have, Your Honor.
Do you need to make corrections, updates, or deletions?
I do not, Your Honor.
Okay, you can proceed to allocution.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. McFarland was given a substance abuse assessment by the probation department, and it found that he had a severe and moderate alcohol and cannabis use disorder, but it was in sustained full remission. That being that the dates of these offenses happened over 3 years ago. Mr. McFarland is not on probation or parole anywhere else. He hasn't committed any other offenses, so that was partly why he was able to secure a very good plea deal and conviction. With that, Your Honor, I also, given though that even though it happened 3 years ago, we had discussed it and there wasn't any current treatment or he wasn't seeking any current counseling. I encouraged him to be proactive in this and do it himself. So I'm going to provide this to probation. He has been sending me verifications of the AAs basically since April. I have 21 here. I think there's another 1 or 2 in my email, but basically he did take my advice and be proactive and started going to these meetings online because they're so easy. It's almost effortless and you can go and get help if you're struggling or if you need, if you want to just talk. And he found, he did write out a statement. I had him for the prosecutor just to show that he has been taking this seriously, Your Honor. With that, he's working full-time. In fact, I believe, I always get confused with two. It's either Kalamazoo or Battle Creek. Where are you living right now, Mr. McFarland?
I live in Kalamazoo and I work full-time at a place called The Principal.
Yes, he is, he has stable employment, stable housing. I do believe that he is a good candidate for probation, but I do wonder, what could be, if anything, keeping him in AA would be good. Maybe, the recommendation was, I'm sorry, Your Honor, it put him down there at, wanted to have some sort of relapse prevention program, which I don't, that's always, I believe, good to have, but again, considering that this was 3 years ago, he hasn't drank in over a year. He is using AA as support. We just want the court to consider that when if they want to put him on probation. And there wasn't an accident in this matter, so there's the presumption that he wouldn't get probation, but obviously this is not his first offense. He is in sustained remission, so we understand if the court wants to put him on probation, but that's it, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, and I recognize you said he hasn't drank in over a year, but this was not a situation where he was drinking. My records reflect that he was under the influence of THC.
He did. They tested his blood for both THC and alcohol. He came out at
I must be missing a lab. report.
Point-
Let me see.
0.0. It's on page 15.
Oh, okay. He was below the legal limit for alcohol, but also had THC in his system. Oh. Any further allocution?
Mr. McFarland, did you want to make a statement?
I just want to say I accept your judgment, and I have been working for a while to rid myself of alcohol's affliction. If you choose to send me to probation, so be it. However, I believe that attending Alcoholics Anonymous is probably the biggest benefit to my daily routine, and that's all I have to say.
Thank you. I've had an opportunity to review your prior criminal history. I think you understand that this was not the original charge was not the first time you've been charged with an offense similar to this. And under the circumstances, you were granted a grade reduction in the charge. It's been over 3 years since the date of the incident. I do see where, at least reflected in the allocution by your attorney, where you've been proactive and doing some ongoing treatment or to address the issue you've been working. I don't see any further engagement with the court. Don't believe that probation is in the best interest at this time because you're essentially doing what the court would have ordered you to do, and you've been doing that on your own since April. So it sounds like you are taking measures on your own to sustain your long-term sobriety. And so with that being said, I'm going to sentence you to fines and costs only. There's a $75 crime victim rights fee, plus a $50 state minimum cost, plus $300 in a fine that will be assessed, for a total of $425.
And there's already records.
I can see that. Thank you. And there's also OWI cost recovery fees that you owe to the Lansing Police Department in the amount of $501.61. Thank you, I'm sorry. That's a total of $926.61. How much are you prepared to pay today?
I could actually do a online transaction. If I could do that, then I could pay it within the next couple.
I'm sorry, it broke up. You can pay within the next one?
If I could do an online transaction, it would be within the next couple of days.
Okay, you're gonna pay the amount in full within the next couple of days?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I note here that you'll pay in full within the next 7 days. You can make payment online at the court website. You'll use your case number. That's the 20-01512 number, okay?
Okay.
Do you have any questions at this time?
No.
Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
No for the defense, thank you.
You're all set, sir, and good luck to you.
Thank
You're welcome. Okay, you need to speak to some of your people.
Yes, well, I was ready to go with Mason Watkins, but if he walked out, I'll go talk to him.
Okay, and then you don't have the prosecutor, but
Mr. Wallace, Edward Wallace at 830 is sentencing, Your Honor. It's my understanding he's in Ogama County.
needs to be rated.
Yes,
So open, okay?
yes, OGENA.
Thank you.
Right now.
Any of these juries show us people up here. Okay. Let's see. Gibbs. Mr. President, who represents Gibbs, Mr. Lee?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Who represents Ryan Gibbs?
I think that might be sorted down.
Oh, sounds good. And then I see Rosenbaum. Timothy Moore here. Have we seen Timothy Moore?
You did answer in the hallway, Your Honor.
Is Timothy Moore in the hallway? Is there Timothy Moore in the hallway? Are you Timothy Moore?
Yes.
No, you can have a seat in here. Just have a seat. Nope, back there. Okay, we're not, just sit in the gap. Yeah, we're not gonna be looking for people outside. Dustin Wells, is he here?
Did not answer in the hallway, Your Honor.
Last that I spoke with Mr. Wells, he was at a state hospital inpatient. And he usually appears via Zoom.
Okay, so you haven't spoken to him since we got a competency report?
I had one follow-up conversation with him, and I haven't been able to speak with him since.
Did we just get this report? I'm confused. Why are they just not sending us this report? You don't know what hospital he's in? This is a separate competency, and we received a report in April. Well, there was a report dated for April. We received it on the 16th. Not sure what's going on there. Hey, AJ, whose signature is that? We see AJ. There was some word. The issue that I have is that I had it set for, oh, he didn't appear. That's what happened. He did appear in April. All right, that makes sense. We'll figure out where he is. Where's the prosecutor? And Mr. Goodrich, your matter's at 10, correct?
Yes. I understand they're gonna have him over video at 10 o'clock from Waco County.
I hope.
Lockup told me this morning when I asked.
It's been a day. I mean, it's 9:45. I'm still waiting for the 8 o'clock to be done. So. Can we move forward with Alexander, please? Do we know where Mr. Lee went?
He's outside.
Okay, well, he needs to be inside because it's going on 10 o'clock and the 8 o'clocks are still being taken care of. Can you get Mr. Lee back in here, please? Hi. You may.
I just. I was gonna want to somebody else.
Ms. Donnelly, do you have anything ready to go?
I believe Mr. Watkins.
On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Mason Watkins, file number 23-00304 SM, council appearance.
The Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant Mason Watkins, who is present and standing to my right.
Today's the date and time set for sentencing and a restitution hearing. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I believe we're ready to proceed with,
Sorry, Carrie Soler as well as the victim here in this hearing. The victim,
Okay, what about it?
she's also here. I didn't present her name earlier.
Okay, are we ready to proceed?
Did you have the
Yeah.
groups and stuff like that? Did we want to? Were you okay? Is it just that that we're asking for?
Okay,
Yeah.
what happened to Mr. Goodrich?
Your Honor, I can go find him. Or. Can you find him? Can you find him?
Can you hear me in the Nuevo jail?
We can.
Okay, we're gonna get the attorney on Zoom. I'll put him in the private meeting room when he gets here.
Okay, he's on his way down now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and I told you about that stuff and why we weren't gonna agree to that, so if that's exactly what you're asking for, we'll have it here.
Okay,
What do you want us to do?
we can call our witnesses because here's the misconception. The misconception is that it's time to discuss the case when I call the case. You had last week, yesterday, all this time beforehand, don't interrupt me, to discuss these matters. And now I have a courtroom full of people because you all have failed to do your due diligence in discussing matters before we got here. And that's your responsibility.
Yeah, man. I reached out last week to the victim in this case. Her phone was shut off. I learned earlier this morning that the phone number that was provided in the police report was inaccurate. I didn't get her a correct phone number today. That's why we're kind of discussing. I did discuss with her this morning about the receipts. I do have them handy. So I guess
We're ready for a hearing. This is what it sounds like, correct?
Yes, I'm ready for
Okay,
a
you
hearing.
can
Your
call your
Honor,
first
something
witness.
to put something-
You can have a seat. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury.
Yes.
You can have a seat, ma'am. I need you to state your first and last name, spell them both.
Carrie, Carrie, last name Soler, Soulliere.
Thank you. You proceed, counsel.
good morning. I have 3 receipts in front of me. Can I? Am I allowed to? I'm not sure what the rules are in the evidentiary. Can I provide these receipts without?
Well, you're gonna have to have her
provided
identity.
copies to me yet?
No.
Because I haven't been provided copies either,
Okay. Yeah.
so,
You want to take a look at it?
well, I
Well, she
would
needs her own
prefer to have,
copies.
I would prefer to have my own copies.
Okay.
Okay, so we're not prepared to do this one either. She needs, you need copies.
Yes, Your Honor,
Oh.
yeah, at least what
Should
they're
be.
presenting, so I can look at it as we're talking about it.
What do you like to do, Your Honor?
We'll get her copies. Mr. Willie, which matter are you here for?
Sugar and weekends, Your Honor.
It's gonna be dismissed, I believe.
We're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Shakira Mariah Wiggins, file number 23-01418. Appearances for the record.
Good morning, Honor. George, on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ronald Woolley on behalf of Ms. Shigura Wiggins. She's present sitting in the gallery.
Ms. Wiggins, how are you? I'm doing well. Were you not prepared for court today, or were you running late?
Both of them?
Because you have on a bonnet and slippers.
Yeah.
You knew you were coming to court today?
I kind of forgot about
You
it.
forgot?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Today was the date and time set for a pretrial and a PA 53 contempt. What's happening here with this paperwork? Okay, and the people are making a motion?
The defense will be making a motion. Your
Oh,
Honor.
the defense is making a motion. What's your motion?
Your Honor, in the interest of justice, I was speaking with the prosecutor that to dismiss the matter. And I believe the prosecutor is agreeable to that.
Okay. You're asking to dismiss the matter based on what?
I'm not agreeable with it, but I did contact the victims in this case and the witnesses, and I don't nobody appeared today.
Okay, well, today's not a final pretrial.
In regards to the violation.
Oh, okay. You contacted the alleged victim and they did not respond, or you haven't made contact?
I did make contact with I think it was the grandma in this case. Let me double check. And she said she was gonna appear today. And I also spoke with somebody else that, let me just pull up my notes once. But yeah, I was told that they were gonna appear today. They did not.
I'm just
Oh.
showing you what the alleged bond violation was. It was alleged contact here.
I believe it was contact with,
It says the violation is do not commit crimes while released and do not use alcohol. Why do we need a witness on that one? Or a family witness? I'm confused.
so Your Honor, I'm familiar with 54B and normally how it happens if we don't have the probation officer or a victim in a violation, I'm used to getting the case dismissed. I'm not sure how it works here.
Okay, this is not a probation violation.
I'm sorry.
This is a bond violation, and the allegation is that she violated the terms of her bond by violating the term that she was not to commit any crimes while released. Was she charged with a new crime?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, typically something like that I have to hold in abeyance anyways, because she's innocent until proven guilty on the new thing. So that's a whole nother situation. But the alcohol use, whoever accused her of alcohol should have been subpoenaed here.
That's the officer. I didn't have anybody here today.
Okay, it looks like it was an officer that should have been here.
That was supposed to be subpoenaed. I think he was, Sullivan. He was subpoenaed today. He is not here today.
Okay. As to the assault and battery, that will be set for a final pretrial.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that will require the witnesses to appear in person.
Correct, Your Honor. Thank
I'll
you.
dismiss the PA 53 violation. The failure, witness failed to appear. You understand what's going on here, Ms. Wiggins? You can say yes or no, I'll explain it. Okay, so you had a bond violation hearing set for today, then you had a pretrial on an assault and battery. The assault and battery is going to be set for a final pretrial. You need to appear in person. You need to appear appropriately dressed for court, okay? And then your bond violation, we're going to dismiss it only because the witnesses did not appear. But I'm gonna reiterate your bond terms for you. While you're out on bond, you're not to use, purchase, or possess any drugs or alcohol. Do you understand that? You're not to have or engage in any assaultive or threatening conduct. You understand that? You're not to travel outside the state without prior approval of the court. Do you have questions about that? You're not to have contact directly or indirectly with the Ann Doris Jones. You're not to use, purchase, or possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. Do you have any questions about any of those conditions? Okay. Can I have a final pretrial date?
It'll be August 7th at 8 a.m.
Final pretrial, August 7th at 8 a.m. work for you, Mr. Woolley? Okay. And if this proceeds to jury trial,
It'll be August 14th.
it'll be August 14th at 8 a.m. Both of those are in person at the court without a bonnet. Okay?
I'm sorry.
You're a very pretty young lady. You want to present yourself that way when you go outside. You don't want to wear your inside clothes outside. Okay? You understand that? Do you have any questions? Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor, thank you.
Yeah, just for the dates again, you said August 7 at 8:30 and when is the
8
trial?
a.m. Both are 8 a.m.
And then the trial date would be.
August 14th, 1 week later at 8 a.m. We'll get you a copy of the notices to appear.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're all set. Yes, you can. Just a second page. Yes. Thank you. Okay, did you get copies? Ms.
Yes, I
Donnelly?
did, Your Honor.
Thank you. Back on the record, in the matter of Mason Watkins, counsel, you can proceed.
Did you provide me, receipts of the damages that were done to your property?
Some of them.
Is there some missing?
It's just because I haven't paid the second deductible on the other damage.
How much was the second deductible?
It'll be 500.
If I was to provide you the receipts that you provided me in the defense today, you recognize those?
Yeah.
Now, Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
And showing you a receipt of Satellite Auto Glass, Enterprise, and Shaheen Collision Center.
Mhm.
What is the total amount you paid out of pocket for Satellite Auto Glass?
500,
That the deductible?
yes.
Okay. Is there anything further for Satellite Glass that you paid?
No,
Okay. What about Enterprise?
$53.54.
And what was that for?
That was the leftover that my insurance didn't pay,
For
a
what?
rental.
Rental car?
$52 and what?
$53.24.
Okay.
And in regards to Shaheen Collision Center, what was the total you paid out of pocket for that? Or have you paid out of pocket for that yet?
I think that was all taken care of in the deductible, because this was all one.
So for Shaheen Collision and Satellite Auto Glass, the total was $500 that you paid.
Mhm.
So it was just the $53.24, was it?
Yeah, from the rental,
And then $500 deductible for Satellite and Shaheen.
yes,
And the only thing we do not have today is a $500 deductible for what?
for the rest of the damage that was done to the front of my vehicle. On the driver's side.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ms. Donnelly?
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, okay, so your car was damaged, correct?
Yes,
All right, and it was damaged, you say multiple times, correct?
several.
How many times?
Twice
Twice,
that I know of.
that you know of, okay. And neither of these times, did you see who damaged your vehicle?
Just the cars on the camera.
Okay, but so did you see, okay, so the first damage was done on December 27th of 2021, correct?
Yes.
All right, and what was damaged?
My windshield and my back windshield
Your
and the front of my hood.
all on December 27th?
You know what, to be honest, I couldn't remember. I just know it was after Christmas.
Okay, but you did give a statement to police. You called the police
Yes,
after
I
the second
did.
incident,
Yes,
and
I
you
did.
told them that there were two separate incidences,
Yes.
correct? So on the first incident, what was the damage done to your car?
The windshield and the back windshield.
So your front windshield and the back windshield on your, what kind of car was it?
That's a Equinox.
So it's an SUV.
Mhm.
And you say
Is that a
that,
yes?
Yes,
Thank you.
and so you're saying on on the first incident of damage to your car, the front windshield and the back windshield were damaged. All right,
and
and
the hood.
the hood was damaged. How was the hood
Yes.
damaged?
I'll tell you what they use.
And you
I
didn't
think
see it
was a
happen?
table, but I'm not sure.
This was on the
No.
first incident, all that, you had damage to the front windshield, back windshield, and the hood on the first incident.
What was the damage to
It's
the?
hard to remember.
Well, that's important, because I'm only here for one incident.
Yes, exactly. So you said the front hood was damaged in that first incident.
Mhm.
What kind of
Is that a
damage?
yes, ma'am?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry.
And what kind of damage was done to the hood?
Denon, it was Denon.
Okay. And you did report this to the police that it was the hood was dented on that first incident?
Yes.
All right, so so then you took it to Safe Light Auto first?
Actually, yes, the windows had to be done first, yes.
Because this invoice date, it was you took it in on, or it was the invoice date of January 7th, correct?
Yes,
2022. Okay.
Yes, January 7th of 2022, correct?
yes,
Okay, and then you had, is that at the time at which you had the front windshield and the back windshield replaced?
yes,
So where it says, so the first item on this invoice for a replaced with new heated solar with wiper one hole, $396.91, would that be the back window or the front window?
the back probably,
All right, and 339.14 was the other window, so slightly less. Would that be the back window or the front window?
I'm taking it was the front.
All right. So then you, in February, you took the vehicle to Shaheen for damage,
Yes.
to the actual body of the vehicle, correct? Was there any glass replaced?
That one no. Safe Light did the glass. The body work was done by Shaheen.
Okay, so the body labor. Okay, and what would, and so what did they repair at Shaheen on February 24th?
I believe it was the hood.
Okay, but you don't, but again, you don't know how that hood was damaged.
I wasn't there.
Your Honor, I don't know if this is an objection, but now I think we're just ask her to speculate. She's not an expert in.
I'll retract my question and rephrase it. Again, when you came out to your car and saw that the front and the back windshield were damaged, you also noticed the damage to your hood, correct?
Yes.
All right, but you didn't see how the damage occurred to your hood or the windows?
I did not, but it was a gun of some sort. That's all I know.
You said it was a
gun.
caused damage to the hood.
Yep. And the windows. The front window, sorry. The back window was glass.
Okay, so so the front window and the hood you believe was damaged by a gun?
That's what I believe.
This is all in the same incident.
Yes.
Well, but you said that there were two separate incidences, correct?
Mhm.
So what was
That's a
damaged?
yes. I need you to say yes or no, because we
Yes,
can't write that into the
sorry.
record. You're fine.
Yes,
And so what was damaged at the second incident?
I believe it was a table,
When was the second incident?
like the second day, right after. The night right after the first
Oh.
incident,
Okay.
2
so-
days in a row.
Gotcha. And so you made 2 separate reports?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Okay, so I just want to make sure, just to make sure we're all on the same page. There were 2 separate incidences. In one incident, the window was damaged.
Both windows, yes.
But you said that the damage to the windshield and the hood was from a gun. You believed from a gun.
I believe, yes.
Okay, but the damage to the back window, was that with a gun?
No,
Okay, so did they occur at the same time?
yeah,
Is that what you reported to the police?
I think so.
All right, so I believe that we need to, I want to refresh the witnesses' statements with what they said that night. I don't have it printed out though, so.
You can still just show him what you're showing.
Okay.
Oh, you can show the prosecutor what you're gonna
Yeah,
show.
I want to show them.
What page are you on?
All right, so Ms. Solaire, I'm going to show you the police report, and I would like you to just, to yourself, read your statement to the police. Have you had an opportunity to read your statement to the police that night,
I
Ms. Solaire?
did, it just, I don't recall. I really don't. It's been a year, over a year. I am like, that don't even look right to me, honestly.
Okay, but do you remember calling the police on the reporting shots fired on the 29th of the previous, like you had heard shots fired on the 28th and you had talked to the police on the 29th?
No,
Okay, and do you remember that you had previous to the shots fired already made an MDO or malicious the complaint of destruction of your property for the 27th?
Yeah, I think, sorry,
That's totally
she mentioned multiple times, she doesn't remember.
Okay, all
We
right.
just keep asking. this
All right,
stuff,
so Your Honor, yeah. That's fine.
Okay.
You have that, I have no further questions.
Okay, redirect.
Yes, just real quickly. Was your car damaged prior to these 2 incidents?
no,
Okay, no further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, well, I have some questions. Both of these incidences you're alleging or to have been this defendant to cause that damage?
I can't be positive.
Okay.
Because the culprit that I know who it was, apparently, he's the only one that's admitted to anything. So I'm just confused. I didn't think I was gonna get up here and be,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I didn't
Okay.
even know I was gonna have to go through all this.
Okay, thank you. Council, can you approach? Okay. Um, Jacob Mann, is Jacob Mann here?
They'll go care when I called them earlier on.
I've not been able to establish contact with him.
Okay, sounds like probation never got the file anyways.
I think he would have needed another referral, but I think those are very-
Mhm. I don't know if this is on the iPhone. Mr. Goodrich is here with someone from the Wago. So we need a prosecutor. Did we get the other sentencing taken care of?
But only Mr. Watkins is the only one that needs to be sent to.
Okay. We're working.
And then, yeah, we still need to go on the record with that. But,
We need a prosecutor.
you want to go back? First floor.
Oh, man.
First floor, yeah, right across the lobby though.
Timothy Moore here.
Yes.
Okay. Dustin Wells, I don't know who he is. Were you able to locate where Mr. Wells was?
Oh, where he failed to answer.
Oh, he was gonna try to find, he was supposed to be at a hospital or something, I think. So he was gonna try to,
Oh, that was Mr. Willis.
I'm sorry,
That was Mr. Willis.
Wells, Wells.
Mr. Wells is inpatient at a state hospital in Cairo, Michigan, CARO.
Okay. We'll have to reset his competency.
Been reset from July 17th.
You said what? He was set for July 17th.
He's already reset for July 17th. That's what you want.
No, not Wallace, Wells. He was set for competency at 9. But he's in the state hospital. Wallace, what time is that scheduled for?
That was the sentencing that Donald said.
Oh, yeah. I see that one.
I'll do a date for.
It's on the iPhone. Sir, can you hear me? To the gentleman in the shirt with his arms crossed, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
What is your name?
Noel Jackson.
Hmm?
10:30.
Oh, they have his name back. They have Jackson as well. Your first name is Noel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, Mr. Lee, who do you have waiting?
I have Miss Alexander and Miss Keith.
We're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Tiana Alexander. We went off the record on this matter because counsel needed to meet with his client to discuss the guilty plea to the disorderly jostling. How are we proceeding?
Miss Alexander is prepared to plead guilty to the disorderly jostling with Haida.
Raise your right hand. Solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury. Okay, we previously were advising you of the rights that you would give up in order to accept this offer. Again, one of those rights is your right to the presumption of innocence. So you're innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to require the prosecution to prove your guilt by proving each element of the charge being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt at a trial. You have the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you. You have the right to confront, cross-examine, or question any other witnesses the prosecution intends to call. You have the right to call your own witnesses or present evidence at trial that you believe further a defense to the charge being brought against you. You understand those rights?
Yes, I do.
You are willing to waive each of those rights here today to enter a guilty plea to disorderly jostling?
Yeah.
Anybody threatening you to get you to waive your rights?
No,
Any promises being made to you in exchange for a guilty plea?
no,
Are you currently on probation or parole?
yes,
Okay. You're on probation before me?
yes.
That's what I thought. Okay. When did I put you on probation?
Anyway,
Okay, so this incident occurred prior to that. Okay, and so you understand that a guilty plea can result in the conviction that you may need to report
Yeah.
to your employer.
yes, I do.
Okay. Okay, I recollect from your matter that you are on probation for, that you suffer from some memory loss. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember this incident?
No.
How is she gonna plead guilty if she doesn't remember the incident?
She has told me that there are parts of the incident she does remember and parts that she does not recall.
Is that accurate, ma'am? Okay. So when I asked you, did you remember the incident? You said no. Which one is the truth?
I don't remember it fully, but I do remember.
Okay, okay. Are you entering a guilty plea because you believe you're guilty based on what you remember?
Yes.
Okay. You understand that a guilty plea could result in a conviction that may have impact on travel or immigration status you may be seeking.
Yes.
Okay, as to, and then there's no objection to HIDA, but HIDA is not a part of your guilty plea. You understand that? You have to be eligible for that.
Yeah, after the 3 months or.
Well, we have to see if you're eligible at the time of sentencing, and then I can order sentencing under HIDA. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. And with that understanding, you still want to waive your rights and enter a guilty plea to the amended charge, correct?
Yes.
Okay, as to the amended charge of disorderly jostling, how do you plead, ma'am?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Factual basis?
Miss Alexander, on or about April 13th, 2023, were you at 3709 Ronald in Lansing, Michigan?
Yes,
And that's in the county of Ingham, correct?
Yes,
And at that time, you were having an argument with Mr. Armstrong, David Armstrong,
yes,
and that argument spilled out into the front yard in the street. Correct?
yes,
And at that time, you did stab his and puncture his tongue, correct?
yes.
No further questions.
Any questions from the prosecution?
Nothing further, Your Honor, thank you.
Is there restitution being sought? Okay. The court is satisfied with the factual basis on such your plea. I find your plea was made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. We do have a victim here today, correct?
Yes, Your
Okay. But for the fact of the HIDA status, I'm inclined to go to immediate sentencing because he's already here. He's already on probation.
Okay.
Did you want to see if he wants to give a statement? No statement at this time. You can make allocation.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Alexander has been dealing with a number of issues, including traumatic brain injury and so forth. So she spends most of her days at home and or going to doctor's visits or physical therapy, occupational therapy type things. She is completely solely dependent upon her family at this point in time for all of her living expenses that she's not able to work. She regrets this incident and has expressed remorse and wants to resolve this and is sorry for what happened. But we're asking the court to consider her situation in terms of the finances and fees and fines imposed upon her as part of her probation. Thank you.
What's the other file number that she's on probation? 276. Whatever you do. Got it. For how long? It's the November, representation. Okay, and the order of the court is for you to serve a term of probation concurrent with your probation terms in file number 22-03276. HIDA status is granted unless otherwise ineligible. As the fines and costs is a $75 crime victim rights fee per statute, which must be assessed, plus a $50 state minimum cost, which must be assessed. I'm going to waive discretionary fines and costs. I'm also going to waive oversight fees because you're already under oversight, okay? Do you have any questions today?
No, Your Honor.
Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, you'll go down to probation when you leave here today, okay, and check in with them. She doesn't because I just sentenced her.
Am I getting something from her or
Getting something from whom?
my probation officer? I'm just going to see her.
You're going to see them because I am ordering for you to do another term of probation. Since you're doing the same probation terms on this file as well, so you're going to check in with them. They're going to advise us to your HIDA status and then make sure they don't need any additional information from you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
No problem. After that, you'll need to go. Let's Mr. Goodrich?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I don't know if I lost the jail. Let's see if it's still, okay.
Nope, he's
Can
still
we
there.
unmute the jail?
Yeah. Yeah, she's just sitting here in her walk.
Okay, wait, but you can't go anywhere, Mr. Prosecutor, because I'm calling the case. Okay, we're on the record in the matter. There we go, of the people of the state of Michigan versus William Carter, file number 23-01126. Council appearance.
Virginia, on behalf of the people.
And Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office here to represent Mr. Carter.
Thank you. Today was the date set for a pre-trial. Mr. Carter appears from the Newaygo County Jail. I have one count of domestic violence, another count of reckless driving. How are we proceeding?
Yeah, I defer to the defense of the Senate.
Your Honor, I did speak with the prosecutor currently in your courtroom, and he deferred to Ms. Castleman down the hall. I did speak with her. It is my understanding the prosecutor's office intends to move forward with this case. As the court may recall, we had a preliminary exam on this. So we would ask the court to set this for a final pretrial at this time.
This matter will be set for final pretrial. We need to write him from Newaygo.
It'll be
August 7th at 8 o'clock in the morning. Jury trial will be August 14th. Do you have any questions today, Mr. Carter?
No, ma'am.
Any additional matters for the record?
I'll be coming to the Honor.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're all set today, Mr. Carter.
Yes,
On
ma'am.
the
Thank you.
record of the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Sandra Cantwell, file number 23-00941.
Virginia, on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Sandra Campbell. So,
Okay, we had gone off the record so that the parties could further discuss. How are you proceeding?
Yeah, at this time, there is a plea.
I have a plea sheet. I'll just amend it. What's the new offer?
Disorderly jostling, Your Honor.
Okay, so she's gonna change her previous factual basis that was already on the record?
I think that would be a
Sounds
sufficient
like-
factual basis for disorderly, but we can redo the allocution or the.
For jostling?
Jostling, yeah.
Okay. I need a factual basis for jostling. She's been advised of her rights. And she said she has no issues waiving those and she clearly understands them. The issue was as to the factual basis. We did not have sufficient factual basis for disturbing the peace. But the disorderly jostling, you can proceed with the factual basis.
Ms. Cantwell, on or about March 21st, 2023, were you at 1034 North Cedar?
Yes,
And that's in the city of Lansing County, Reno?
yes,
Okay. And at that time, did you have a verbal altercation with Matthew Cantwell?
yes,
And as part of that verbal altercation, you were yelling, you were both in each other's faces.
yes,
And this was in the back of the house by the kitchen
yes,
and spilled out onto the back porch.
yes,
And subsequently, the police were called.
yes.
No further questions.
Any questions from the prosecution?
No, Your Honor.
How does a loud noise or yelling spilling over into the backyard meet the elements of disorderly jostling?
think the crowding people in this unnecessary public place was sufficient.
Crowding people
Crowding, so people, maybe one person being the
in a public place
public place being outside.
in her back deck. It's not a public place.
Yeah, if you have a problem here, then Your Honor.
Her personal property.
Well,
This matter is set for trial. Did we get to reschedule the trial?
Yeah, I think we already have a trial date. Let me just-
I don't see that,
No,
because we originally set it for July 3rd, and then we reset, I see that the pre-trial was reset for. Is the trial July 24th?
I have a
Yes.
trial date of July
Okay.
24th at 8 a.m.
Okay, trial will proceed July 24th at 8 o'clock in the morning in person at the court. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing further. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're all set, ma'am. Did we not take care of Aunt yet?
No.
Why are we still doing 8 o'clock? It's 11.
Nor, nothing.
On the record of the matter, the people of the state of Michigan versus Natalie Ott, file number 23-01156.
there's an on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant Natalie Ott, who is present standing to my right.
Okay. We went off the record. Was there an offer on this? The offer was for her to plead guilty with no objection to HIDA, is that correct?
Your Honor, I had a discussion with her. She was using methamphetamines at the time and does not recall the incident. I believe that I've offered to have her plead no contest and with a deferred sentence so that she can still be given an opportunity to have probation and have this off her record.
Is there an objection to that?
So Your Honor, I've not done a deferred sentence yet, and my understanding is there's drug testing in between deferred sentencing, then yes, that's fine.
Okay. So my question was there an objection as to her need to do a no contest plea?
Right, no objection.
Okay. Have a police report?
I will email it to you.
Just a note though, I don't think HIDA is allowed under a no contest.
It's not just a plea. She's requesting a deferred sentence instead of HIDA.
Yes.
So. Good. Victim is here.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. Yeah.
Okay. Did you give me advice and rights already?
No, I've gone over her rights, I just haven't had to fill it out. Go ahead and sign it.
All right. Ms. Ott, you heard the offer, which was for you to plead guilty to the original, I'm sorry, plead no contest to the original charge. And there's a request for deferred sentencing. Do you want to do that today, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury? Okay, you can put your hand down. I have an advice of rights and plea information sheet here. There's a name right here under the signature. Is that your signature?
Yes.
Okay, did you review this document? You understand each of the rights listed here?
No.
Do you have any questions about any of these rights? Okay, can I put today's date on this? Okay. You understand that in order to accept the offer, just to plead no contest, you would have to give up all the rights that was listed on that paperwork there?
Yes, ma'am.
So that means you're gonna give up your right to the presumption of innocence. So you are considered innocent as you stand here today, and you maintain that innocence until they can prove your guilt. They have to prove it at a trial by proving each element beyond a reasonable doubt. You wanna waive that right?
Yes.
Okay, so you also have the right to question or cross-examine any other witnesses that they call. You have the right to call your own witnesses or present evidence that you believe show a defense to the charge being brought against you. You want to waive that right?
Yes.
You have the right to remain silent at a trial and not have silence be used against you. Do you want to waive that right?
Yes.
Anybody threatening you to get you to waive your rights today? Any promises being made to you in exchange for waiving your rights?
No.
Are you currently on probation or parole?
No.
You understand a conviction of this could be something that you need to report on a future job application, so you may need to report a conviction to your current employer. I'm sorry?
Yes.
Okay, you also understand that a conviction of this kind could be something that has impact on travel or immigration status that you may seek in the future?
Yes.
Okay, and you still want to waive your rights, correct?
Yes.
And you don't remember this incident?
No.
Okay, and that's because you were under the influence of a controlled substance?
Yes.
Okay. I have a police report here from the Lansing Police Department for April 12th, 2023. As to the charge of assault and battery, do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
She's asking, what are we doing here? Pleading,
Are you gonna plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Okay, police report number is case number 2351903-258, states that at the date of April 12th, 2023, at approximately 1:13 in the morning at the area of 3709 South Deerfield, City of Lansing, Ingham County, officers reported to that address. The caller advised that his daughter had assaulted his wife being a Nicole Ott. It says that officers made contact with the victim, Nicole R., who advised that she picked her daughter up from McLaren, who was petitioned for mental health earlier that night, and that when they arrived home, the defendant Natalie became angered and she was unable to leave the house to go to a friend's house. An argument ensued, and the defendant punched the victim in the right arm 5 times. This was not in self-defense. Any additional factual basis?
As I said, I think we are.
None for defense.
The court is satisfied with the factual basis. I find the reason for a no contest plea to be appropriate, and I find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. This matter will be deferred for sentencing. I will defer your sentencing for 6 months. While out on bond pending sentencing, you have the following conditions. Are you currently in any treatment?
No.
You need to undergo a substance abuse assessment within the next 30 days and follow all recommendations. That substance abuse assessment needs to be provided to our probation department within the next 30 days. I'm sorry? Say something.
I think we're open.
January. I would avoid that date.
Oh.
January 2nd. January.
You're fine.
Not then.
Okay.
Couple weeks after that, but
Okay.
yeah, I would, and we switch.
Yeah, no, I didn't on
Okay.
Tuesday. So we'll be January 9th, just so we see.
Sentencing will be January 9th at 8:30. Because that's next year and the calendar hasn't opened up yet, that could change, okay? If that date does change, we'll send you a new notice in the mail to the address we have on file. Let's say that there was no address provided. Did she provide an address upon her release from custody? Okay, says you were supposed to provide an address within 24 hours of your release.
It still has to be though.
Okay, what is your current address?
3808 Southgate.
Southgate?
Lansing still?
Yeah,
You know the zip code?
4901.
Is there an apartment there?
Just that house.
Oh, that sounds good.
What were the numbers?
Repeat that address again.
3808 Southgate.
Okay, back to deferred sentencing. You need to complete a substance abuse assessment within the next 30 days and provide that assessment to our probation department. You're required to follow all recommendations pending your sentencing date. They're also going to be ordered to participate in your analysis testing weekly. You're employed.
No,
All right, so it's something about employment. Are you in school?
no.
Why is that?
Did you get your GED?
You're not in school, you're not employed. What do you do during the day?
I mean, I got a job. I just haven't started working yet.
Where are you gonna be working?
AutoZone.
When do you start?
Monday. Not Monday. They're doing a background check right now.
I'm gonna order that you maintain some employment, and you're gonna need to provide proof of that at the time of your sentencing. You're also gonna need to provide me proof that you've enrolled in a GED program. You understand that?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions about your requirements?
No.
When you leave here, you need to go down to the probation department so that they can get you to complete the paperwork for your pre-sentence investigation, okay? Any additional matters for the record today, council?
Yes, Your Honor, I would, there was we'd like to, or I guess the parties would like to request a bond agreement. Ms. Ott, Nicole Ott, Natalie's mother is here and would like to request the no contact order be dropped. Natalie is not opposed to that, so that would be the request.
Ms. Ott? This is your daughter? Okay, can you speak so we can hear you on the record?
Yes.
Oh, okay, and there's a no contact order that was issued at the time of her arraignment for her not to be within 2,000 feet of wherever you were. That was for your protection. You don't believe that's necessary?
Yes.
You don't believe it is? You want it removed? Okay. Okay, motion to amend the bond to remove the no contact order is granted. All other bond conditions will continue. That includes that you need to make sure you appear to all of your future court dates. That would include your sentencing. And you need to be compliant with all of the conditions that I just gave you pending your sentencing. You're also not to use, purchase, or possess any drugs or alcohol unless you have a valid prescription. You're not to travel outside the state for any reason without prior approval from me. You're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. And you're going to be engaging in your analysis testing weekly. Do you have any questions? Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Thank you for the people, Your Honor. Thank you.
Nothing for defense, thank you.
Okay, you're all set. Good luck to you, ma'am. We'll see you in 2024. And we're back on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Mason Watkins.
People, yeah.
Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of defendant Mason Watkins, who is present, standing to my right.
Okay, we went off the record because there was an issue as to what was appropriate as to restitution. We did hear some testimony about two separate events. However, the court indicated to the council that this was charged as a one count incident on or about 12/28/2021. And on the record at the time of sentencing, the defendant only admitted to throwing a rock through a windshield. How are the parties going to proceed at this time?
Your Honor, we will stipulate, as of today for the one count for the windshield, the front windshield, for the 396.91. I will also place on the record that I will talk to my office. We might be, if allowed by law, we will reissue on the other counts. Or we will issue on the other counts. So.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so other charges may proceed as it relates to the additional counts if authorized per statute, I do need one of those pink sheets completed for restitution.
Your
And the-
Honor, he said that he was agreeing to have the front windshield replaced. Again, Mr. Watkins, there was two separate incidences that are alleged. One was a rock to her back window and one is gunshots to her hood and front windshield. Mr. Watkins only pled guilty to taking a rock to the back windshield, so that's what we would be agreeing.
What is the restitution for that amount?
339.14, Your Honor.
339.14 is ordered by the court. Any other restitution could be sought either civilly or if there's new charges brought against him for the additional charges that are, or the additional counts and those charges are sustained. At this time, we only have one sustained incident. 330.14 is ordered payable to the victim in this matter. Any additional matters as to restitution?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. We need to proceed with sentencing. I have a pre-sentence report and recommendation. Ms. Donnelly, did you get a copy of that?
I did, Your Honor, and I did have an opportunity to review it with our client. At this time, we don't need any additions, deletions, or corrections.
You can make allocution.
Thank you, Your Honor. The recommendation for probation, though we don't object to it, we just want the court to consider that Mr. Watkins is right now living in a hotel. His family was evicted from their homes. That includes his significant other and their two kids, 5 years old and 8-month-old. He's still working. He drives trucks now for GG Transportation. At the time of this incident, I think he was working, you were in a shop at that point, right? Or so you're driving trucks in December? Yeah, so he is working right now. He is trying to find stable housing for his family. In fact, one of the reasons why he took the job he has now is that the employer is offering a place for him and his family to stay, so that so he should be able to soon move out of the hotel once the plumbing gets done right there. But other than that, Your Honor, they are getting help through the Advent House to pay for the hotel. They are also getting Advent House to help them with finding, well, you know, are you working with them on a voucher? Or are you gonna just work with, yeah, your fiance is, so, yeah, they are also getting help from that. They're staying at the Red Roof Inn out in, on the border with Eaton. He does receive Medicaid. His hope is that he can advance in his career, get his CDL, make more money for him and his family. He needs to go to school for that, and he's hoping that he can get that done through Michigan Works. So, Your Honor, again, we don't have any objections to the recommendations. Obviously, this is, you know, when this happened, he was in a situation, and I believe that I don't believe it was his, he was not the instigator of it. Obviously, I believe that whatever the relationship he was with in at that time was the reason why he got himself involved in all of this. And though he is holding himself accountable, Your Honor, we just like the court to consider all that when sentencing him. Thank you.
Okay, does your client wish to make an allocution on behalf?
No, Your Honor.
I just want to apologize. Sorry for what I did. I shouldn't have did it. It wasn't fair to you, and I'm sorry.
I do have here a recommendation indicating a term of probation. It states here that you scored moderate to high risk when it comes to the needs and neighborhood response, personality and responsivity domains, moderate high needs in education and family relationships and leisure activity domains, and then moderate low in needs of employment and attitude domains. Since you were respectful, you are employed, so that's why you scored relatively low there, but you need to do some work in some other areas to make yourself more productive. I think a term of probation is appropriate at this time. And so the court will adopt the recommendation. You'll be sentenced to 93 days Ingham County Jail. Will suspend that 93 days upon successful completion of 6 months probation. While on probation, you're not to engage in any of the following activities. We're going to continue the no contact order with the victim, Carrie. Can you pronounce your last name for me, please, ma'am? Carrie Sawyer. You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to purchase or possess a firearm, ammunition, or weapon of any kind. You're not to use or possess alcohol, marijuana, or controlled substance without a valid prescription. You're required to submit to random preliminary breath testing and or urinalysis testing. You have to pay the cost of that. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
You're not to be at any bars or nightclubs while on probation. You need to maintain employment and provide proof of that to the probation department. I'm going to order that you participate in anger management and attend mental health counseling as recommended and ordered by probation. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Have any questions at this time?
No.
It's a $30 per month oversight fee that you're responsible for while on probation. There's a $75 crime victim rights fee that will be assessed, plus a $50 state minimum cost that will be assessed. Restitution in the amount of $339.14 will be assessed. I'll waive discretionary fines and costs at this time. Total of $644.14. You'll be advised when you meet with probation as to what monthly payments you need to make to be compliant with your probationary terms, okay? Ms. Donnelly, you provide that to your client. This is an advice of rights as to probation. It advises you as to when and how you will be eligible to have early discharge from probation and how you make that request. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer them at this time.
You have any questions?
When do I need to pay?
You'll be making monthly payments on that.
You'll find
So
out.
essentially, your payments are $644. You'll be making a payment per month, so you can divide that by 6. That will be what you'll be making the payments of, okay? Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing for the people, Your Honor.
Nothing for defense, thank
Any
you.
questions about your advice of rights on that?
No, ma'am.
Okay, can I have that form back, please? You don't need to sign it.
No, it's just, she's just advising you.
Thank you. And you can head down to probation to make sure they don't need any further information from you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, and you're all set. Thank you.
Mayor Cooch.
Yes, that needs to go on the file. So that's for,
Yeah, restitution.
he just took that. I'll take it. We'll give it to him. Where's he going? We need the prosecutor back.
I think you were just dismissing witness, Your Honor.
Okay.
You
sorry? Who? A bench warrant for man?
Yeah.
I did.
What you did? The cousin.
We're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Timothy Scott Moore, file numbers 22-00740, 00741, and 01045 and 46. Council appearances.
Judge, on behalf of the people.
And Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant Timothy Moore, who is appearing in person and to my right.
Okay, today was the date and time set for a pre-trial. We have 4 dog license vaccinations. How are we proceeding?
Well, Your Honor, at the last time we were here, Mr. Moore had provided proof, mostly that the 2 dogs had been rehomed. One of them with the breeder, the other one with animal control, and the prosecutor at the time, I believe it was Ms. Castleman, was wanting to have proof from Ingham County Animal Control that he had rehomed it, or that he had surrendered it. Mr. Moore, if you could explain it to me the way, you could explain it to the judge the way you explained it to me earlier when you went to go get proof.
Animal control told me there was no way to verify that the dog they had picked up in my neighborhood was the dog in question, so they could not give me proof that that they had possession of my dog on those times. Without the chip number, he has a chip in his neck, and when I had a stroke during all this time. I don't know what I did with the paperwork. I had to move. I was evicted on July 4th. This was all during that 3-week period. I don't know where that information went, and I can't prove that I don't have my dog's name.
But Your Honor, I don't believe that he still owns the dogs. I believe, and one of them is supposedly in Ingham County Animal Control's custody. So I don't know if there's some other way that we can find proof, or if we can just.
Well, that's up to the prosecutor, because that was their requirement.
Yeah, if you can swear that he did not possession, then I have no problem with knowledge.
Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
I do.
Please, what are your clients?
So, Mr. Moore, you owned 2 dogs that you got tickets for, correct? Twice. You got 2 tickets for 2 dogs?
Correct.
Okay, and one of those dogs you gave back to the breeder, correct?
Correct.
You do not own it anymore, correct? The other dog, it was taken into possession by Ingham County Animal Control.
Yes.
Okay, and you surrendered that dog to them.
Incorrect.
What happened to the dog?
I had those dogs at that address for 3 years. I had a new neighbor moved in. His wife was scared. His sister was scared of the dog, so he let the dog off the leash 3 or 4 times, thus prompting that calls by animal control. On the day that he was picked up, the dog had been let off the leash. Nothing was broken. He was just gone.
So was that dog ever located?
By animal control.
Okay, and so animal control took custody of it, correct?
Correct.
All right, and why don't you have custody of the dog?
Because I didn't have the money at the time to get the dog back from animal control.
Okay,
And I
so,
had no place to house him if I did get it.
so you didn't pay the fee to
I
to
did,
get
I
him out.
surrendered my dog on my own volition because I had no means to humanely care for the animal.
Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Any questions from you, Mr. Prosecutor?
Your Honor, the people move to dismiss.
Okay, all charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. They're all on a citation, so each count will be dismissed. You're all set, sir.
Did you pay?
Yeah, $400.
Who paid it?
I
In your name? Your Honor, are they gonna send if a bond was paid in his name, will they send a check to the court, or?
You paid wrong. It says in your name.
I was picked up in Grass Lake and I bonded out because I was unaware that there were warrants for my arrest for these issues.
Which one?
I see one on 00740, but that's only one.
Okay. 00740.
100.
You didn't pay $100 on each of them?
I think it was on.
Here in his name. Do you see that? There's no bond form in here. You paid cash?
I did.
Okay, those will be released. What's your address?
656 Christie, CHRISTIE, in Kentwood, Michigan.
That's Christie Southeast?
Yes.
Okay, that's the address that they'll be released to.
Thank
No problem. Okay, I think we took care of the jury stuff, and we're finally at the 9:30.
She go as smoothing around.
Jessica Baum here.
Jessica, Wu.
I've not seen her.
Okay. I don't see her on Zoom.
Laura Spears is here.
We'll issue bench warrant. Okay, Ms. Bauer's been here for some time. Who's representing her?
I am, Your Honor.
We're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan. What time is she scheduled? Oh, Rosanna Beth Bauer, file number 23-01250, council appearance.
Georgia, on behalf of the people.
An Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of defendant Rosanna Bauer, who is appearing separately by video.
Today was the date and the time that was set for a pre-trial. Let's see, it's a dog bite. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, it's my understanding there is no offer at this time. We'd like to set it for a final pre-trial and jury trial.
One pre-trial, August 7th at 8 a.m. And jury trial, August 21st.
Final pre-trial, August 7th at 8 a.m. in person at the court. Jury trial, August 21st at 8 o'clock in the morning, also in person at the court. Do you have any questions today, Ms. Bauer? I can't hear you because you're muted.
I apologize, Your Honor. I don't have any questions. I wanted to know if the prosecutor had been able to get a hold of Mr. Scruggs though yet.
Okay, I can't advise that, but your attorney can find out if we'll know at the final pretrial. I think that's the purpose of that.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. No problem. Any additional matters? Well, we don't have a prosecutor. How did we leave when we're in the middle of the record? What the heck is going on? Excuse me, Mr. George, we're on the record. You can't just walk off.
Did I walk? I'm so sorry, Your Honor. I thought we were done.
She was asking.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, the defendant asked, were you in contact with the victim?
No.
Okay, so does that answer your question at this time, Ms. Bauer?
Yes, it does.
Okay, no other matters for the record today, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
None for defense.
Okay, you're all set for today, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I don't think Mr. Gibbs just appeared, Your Honor.
Mr. Gibbs is on Zoom.
Oh, is he?
Did you need to speak to him? Ms. Standish is here too.
No, I don't need Jessica Standish. I'm just waiting on those cases to get dismissed, Your Honor.
Okay, do you need to speak to Mr. Gibbs?
I do need to speak to Mr. Gibbs.
But you don't need to speak to Ms. Standish?
Nope.
Okay, who's representing Jackson?
I am, and that one we're gonna have to adjourn because I don't have discovery on that yet.
We're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Noel Jackson, file number 23-00617. Council appearance.
George, is that back for the people?
Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of defendant Noel Jackson, who is appearing separately by video.
Okay, today was a date and time set for pre-trial. Ms. Donnelly, you do not have discovery.
Your Honor, I don't. And also, Mr. Jackson speaks Kinyarwanda. And typically has had translators at his hearings because he was on probation before.
It states here, whose initial was MS?
Okay.
Okay, there's a note here that his last name is Noel. Is that actual? He told me his first name was Noel.
No, his first name is Noel. It's Noel
Okay.
Jackson.
Client and counselor indicated that the interpreter was not needed. That's the note that she put on here on April 23rd.
Okay.
Mr. Jackson, can you unmute, please?
Mr. Jackson Noel. Yeah, actually, Your Honor, in my system, Jackson is his first name. Noel is the last name.
But I think I asked him when he logged in what his name was. Can you unmute, sir? She put that Jackson was his first name too. Sir, is your first name Noel or your first name Jackson?
My first name is Noel.
Okay. Do you need an interpreter?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And so you want this reset. We're gonna reset the pretrial because your attorney does not have discovery.
I'll check. Oh,
July 17th at what time?
1:30.
At 1:30. Any additional matters for the record?
Your Honor, one more time. What was that date? I apologize.
July 17th at 1:30. You're all set, Mr. Jackson.
Is it going to be on the Zoom or in person?
Zoom is correct. You can log in the same way you did today.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, we're on the record in the matters of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jessica Joe Standish and or WAC file number 19-03932, 19-0398382, and 19-05150, and 21-00375, and 21-00601. Appearances, please.
George, on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant Jessica Standish, who is appearing separately by video.
Okay. Today, what's the date we reset these pre-trials? You say you're still waiting for these to be dismissed for the plea agreement?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the acknowledgments from the prosecutor's office. She has accepted the deal to go into drug court, and we're just waiting on transfers and plea and sentence in drug court.
She's already been accepted, you said?
Yes, she has been accepted. We're waiting on a date that for 54B to schedule her.
Okay. Any idea how long it's going to be?
No, Your Honor, one of the cases has already been reassigned from Aquilina to Greenwald. Another case has to be transferred from Hillman. All the paperwork's done. It just needs to be filed in 54B to transfer a Hillman case. And then it will be set for plea and sentencing. I have no idea when they would do that.
He's giving me 60 days.
At 9:30.
August 28th at 9:30. Hopefully all the paperwork will have caught up and we can just get Nollings
That's my hope, Your Honor, is that we can just dismiss them before that date.
Any additional matters for the record today?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor. Thank you.
And nothing for defense, thank you.
You're all set, Ms. Standish.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who's representing Ms. Moore?
That'd be me, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's see. Are you ready to proceed, Mr. Coons?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, if you want to log in, I'll put you in with Mr. Gibbs. We're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Kiana Latrice Moore. File number is 23-01206. Appearances, please.
George, on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Hey, good morning, Your Honor. Dustin Coons for Kiana Moore, both of us appearing separately by Zoom.
Say was the date and the time that was set for pre-trial. I have one count of domestic violence. Was there an offer on this?
Not at this time, Your Honor. I spoke with Coons via email today and last week, and I believe we're leaving some pre-trial, so I can further look into this file.
Need a second pre-trial? You said?
No, we can leave it separate.
Final pre-trial, okay.
August 7th at 8 a.m. Final pre-trial.
Does August 7th at 8 a.m. work for you, Mr. Coons?
I'm sure it does, but I'll verify. Yes, Your Honor.
Jury trial, August 21st. Does August 21st work for a jury trial?
It does for me, Your Honor.
Okay, final pre-trial, August 7th at 8 o'clock in the morning in person at the court. Jury trial, August 21st, 8 o'clock in the morning, also in person at the court. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor. Thank you.
Not from us. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're all set for today, Ms. Moore.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I just put Gibbs in there. Is Dolores Spears here?
Yes, she is, Your Honor.
Okay, is that your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Dolores Spears, file number 20-00806, counsel appearance.
George, on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Dolores Spears.
How are you, Ms. Spears? Say the date and time that was set for a pre-trial. I have one count of retail fraud, second degree, or subsequent notice, second or subsequent notice. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I would refer to the defense at this time.
Your Honor, Ms. Spears is prepared to plead guilty to retail fraud, third in the charge.
Was that the offer extended? Retail fraud, third. Is there restitution?
I don't think so. Let me just check real quick.
And you have a device of rights.
At this time, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Spears. That's the offer extended to you, was to add a count to a retail fraud, third degree. You want to accept that offer? Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Okay, ma'am, you have the right in this matter to proceed to trial. You have the right to a jury trial. You have the right to the presumption of innocence. So you're innocent until proven guilty, and you enjoy that presumption of innocence until they can prove your guilt at a trial, and they have to prove each element beyond a reasonable doubt at trial. You understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
You have the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you. You have the right to call your own witnesses or present evidence at trial that you believe further defense to this charge. You have the right to confront and cross-examine any of the prosecution's witnesses at a trial. Do you understand those rights? You want to give up all of those rights today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is this your signature?
Yes.
You have any questions about anything listed on this paperwork?
No.
Okay. Anybody threatening you to get you to waive your rights and plead guilty to the added count of retail fraud third degree?
No.
Any promises being made to you in exchange for you waiving your rights and pleading guilty?
No.
Are you currently on probation or parole?
No.
You understand that a guilty plea could result in a conviction that you may need to report to your employer, or you may need to report a conviction on a future job application. Okay. You also understand that a guilty plea could have impact on any travel or immigration status that you may be seeking?
Yes.
Are you entering a guilty plea because you believe you're guilty?
Yes.
Okay, add to the added count of retail fraud third degree. How do you plead, ma'am?
Guilty.
Have a factual basis.
Ms. Spears, on or about July 22nd, 2019, were you at 6200 South Pennsylvania Avenue in Lansing, Michigan?
Yes.
And that's a Meyer store, correct?
Yes.
And that's also in Ingham County?
Yes.
And at that time, did you conceal some food and liquor items on your person?
Yes.
And did you attempt to leave the store without paying for those items?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions.
Any questions from the prosecution?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Court is satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea and find your plea you made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. You can proceed to allocution.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Spears lives on a fixed income and has definitely been dealing with some hard times. She recognizes that she's made a mistake and has expressed regret to me regarding this decision. We're asking the court to consider the fact that she is in a situation where she has very little income and things are very tight for her. In your assessment of an appropriate fine and or sentence on this matter.
According to my affidavit of probable cause, the estimate for the items that were taken is $134.58. I think that's an appropriate fine, don't you? The fine is $134.58. When can you make payment?
The 3rd of July.
How to make payment?
Pardon
Do
me?
you know how to make payment?
Yes, I can either
You
come
just
down
come
here.
up? Okay. All right, sounds good. Do you have any questions at this time?
No, ma'am.
Okay, any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing for the effect. Thank you.
Thank you. You're all set, ma'am. Thank you. You're welcome. Mr. Gibbs, you're ready with him, Ms. Donnelly?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we're on the record in the matters of the people of the state of Michigan versus Brian Willard Gibbs Jr., file numbers 23-01102, 01103, 01104, 01105, 01106. Council appearance.
President, on behalf of the people.
An assistant public defender, Sarah Donnelly, on behalf of defendant Brian Gibbs, who is appearing separately by video.
It was a date and time set for pre-trials on each file. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, at this time, I have no offer from the state. Mr. Gibbs has reported that he has obtained licenses for 2 of the dogs that were ticketed here. I haven't gotten copies of those, so I would need to get proof of that, as well as any and all, if there's any request for restitution. So we'd be requesting, well, at this point, Your Honor, I was gonna ask for final pretrial, but I think we should just adjourn it for a pretrial conference in 2 or 3 weeks by Zoom, so that we can ask for his answers before deciding.
I did speak with the victim last week. I believe if we can get all the licenses and everything in order, we can dismiss this case.
July 17th.
Yeah,
At 1:30. July 17th at 1:30. You have any questions today, Mr. Gibbs?
No, by my understanding, I'll be reporting back into the courtrooms on July 17th at 1:30
That's correct.
By Zoom.
Via Zoom.
via Zoom. Okay. All right.
Correct. Any matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing for the people, Your Honor. Thank you.
Nothing for defense.
Thank you, Mr. Gibbs. We'll see you on July 17th.
All righty. See you guys then. Have a great day. Thank you.
Same to you. You're welcome. Marissa Carberry here.
Yes.
Who's representing him?
Nobody.
Nobody, Your Honor.
She was denying the attorney.
Which one is Marissa? Can you stand up for me, please? Okay, so you understand that you have the right to counsel?
Yes.
Okay, and you were denied court of counsels because of lack of indigency?
Yes.
Okay, they say you're too rich for an attorney to be appointed to you. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay, did you want time to hire an attorney?
Yes.
Okay. July 17th at 1:30 will be your new court date. That'll give you time to see if you can hire an attorney, okay?
Okay, thank you.
We'll get you a copy of your notice to appear. Do you have any questions?
No.
Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing for the people, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set. You have a seat. We'll get you a copy of your notice. Brian Mosher? Rich Warren?
On who, Your Honor?
Mosher?
Brian, you're at 10:30.
Stephen Robertson?
Yes, Your Honor, he is present in the courtroom.
On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Stephen Hunter Robertson, file number 22-01811 SM, appearance please.
Drinking on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Now, Sarah Donnelly, on behalf of the defendant, who is appearing to my right.
How are you, Mr. Robertson? I'm doing well, thank you. Today was the date set for a pre-trial. Is there an offer on this?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Okay, final pre-trial?
In jury trial, yes, thank you, Your Honor.
I'm for trial August 7th at 8 a.m.
Final pre-trial will be August 7th at 8 o'clock in the morning in person at the court. And then jury trial
August 21st.
will be August 21st, also in person at the court at 8 o'clock in the morning. Do you have any questions today, sir?
No.
Okay, very good. We'll get you a copy of your notice to appear in additional matters for the record.
Nothing for the people, Your Honor. Thank you.
Nothing for defense, thank you.
Thank you. Have we seen Taylor Gatto?
That would be, I'll go ask this.
Did we do Jessica Weck yet?
She's same as Standish.
Oh, that's right.
Your Honor, he has had communication with her, but he hasn't seen her today.
Okay, bench warrant.
He also has Early King. He's out there. He's out there.
Yeah, who was that other person we did a bench warrant on? Just before, Masher, okay.
You're good to go.
Okay, Justin Wells was the one that was in the state hospital. I want this reset. This attorney needs to track it down on. We have to have a competency. This report is kind of old, actually. We almost need to do competency. That's how old that report is. His attorney can try to track him down since he was the one who provided that information. So let's get a date next week.
No.
If possible. You said he's talking to Pearly King?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have for you then, correct?
Yep, I believe so, until the afternoon. I have. But she.
Okay.
Probably before I have that, I mean, I went to the past, all separate times. You have any time?
Oh,
Okay.
well, I think that-
I had Hughes, Cheney, Swain, and Collins.
Let me see. Use change, what was that?
So nothing on Hughes, Cheney, and then there's Swain and Collins.
I sent you that. It was
Yeah, I remember you emailing me about this, I don't know.
I think numbers calendar
Oh, yeah, that's right, I remember that now. Mm-hmm,
so
okay, all right, yeah, okay.
rest of it.
You said you sent me Brady stuff on Collins and Swain, Cheney. You said nothing on Cheney.
As an edit, right, either I tried right and I didn't get a hold of right.
Okay.
But
Alright.
Collins, I don't know what you do with that.
Was there any offers?
Um,
I'll have to review with Collins.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll I might be able to email you before 1:30.
This is like a motion file. Sean. He's on this page. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Pearlie King, file number 23-01436. Appearance, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. George, on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Pearlie Alicia King.
How are you, Ms. King? How are you, ma'am?
Medically not good, but I'm here.
You said medically not good? Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you for your patience. Blame the attorneys, though, not me. It was the date and time that was set for a pretrial and a retail fraud third degree. Was there an offer extended?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll defer to the defense.
Well, what was the offer?
I think it was just pleading guilty to the RICO fraud and no front jail.
You didn't extend that offer?
We did.
Okay, what offer did you extend?
That was the offer.
Okay, thank you. Is she accepting that?
She's accepting that.
Okay. Can I have her rights of rights, please?
I will.
Retail fraud third degree, she's pleading to the original charge.
Yes.
Was there a restitution at all?
There is no restitution.
I like how the public defenders answers the prosecutor's questions and so on and so forth.
We did not discuss that, but I do not see any, no. Yeah, no, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. And ma'am, you want to plead guilty to the original charge?
Yes, ma'am.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. I do have an advice of rights and plea information sheet here today. It does have today's date on it, and there's a signature at the bottom. Is that your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you read this document?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand each of the rights listed here?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about these rights?
No, ma'am.
You want to give up all of these rights here today and plead guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you understand that you have the right to the presumption of innocence. So you're innocent, ma'am, until the prosecution can prove you guilty. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay, and in order for them to prove you guilty, they have to prove each element of the charge of retail fraud third degree beyond a reasonable doubt at a time of the jury trial. You understand that?
Yes.
You want to waive that right?
No.
You do not want to waive your right to
Go and waive my rights
a trial?
Oh, yeah, I don't understand.
Okay, you want to waive your right to be considered innocent until proven guilty?
I'm guilty.
Okay, I recognize that. I just want to make sure you understand the rights you're waiving in order to get you to that guilty plea. I know you want to plead guilty because you said you did.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so you understand though that you would be given up the right to question or cross-examine any other witnesses that they want to call in order to plead guilty?
Okay.
Okay, and you're okay with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you can also give up your right to remain silent at trial if you plead guilty. You want to give up that right too?
Yes.
Anybody threatening you to get you to waive your rights?
No, ma'am.
Has there been any promises made to you if you waive your rights?
No, ma'am.
Are you currently on probation or on parole?
No, ma'am.
Are you on bond or any other matter?
No.
Okay, you understand that a guilty plea may result in a conviction that you need to report to your employer.
Yes, ma'am.
It also can have an impact on travel or immigration status that you may be seeking.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you still want to waive those rights, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
As to retail fraud in the third degree, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Factual basis, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. King, on or about March 6th, 2023, were you at a Meijer store located on 6200 South Pennsylvania Avenue in the city of Lansing County?
Yes, sir.
And at that time, did you conceal some items, including some clothing items, and try to leave the store without paying for them?
Yes, sir.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Any questions? from the prosecution?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Court is satisfied with the factual basis, so accept your plea. Upon your plea, you may plead voluntarily and intelligently. Allocution, please.
Your Honor, Ms. King has been very cooperative in this matter. She admitted guilt right up front and took responsibility. She does present with several medical issues and a fixed income, and was under pressure, wanted to get some clothing for her son and made a mistake, for which she has apologized and expressed great remorse. We're asking the court to consider her financial situation in levying fines and costs, and in consideration of that type of thing, which probably contributed to her bad decision in this case, which she rarely admits. That's all.
Did your client want to make her own allocution?
I wanted to apologize for my mistake. Yes, I did. Thank you. Have a son that's locked up, and he was coming home. He's coming home this month. It was like $100 for himself. I'm just going to wear his socks for him. Okay.
Fine is $75. We also need your fingerprints, so you need to go get fingerprinted when you go down, when you leave here, you need to go downstairs and get fingerprinted, okay? Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When can you make payment on the fine?
The third. I'm gonna check everything.
Okay, and do you have questions about where you go to get fingerprinted?
Yes, I do. Question.
Okay, your attorney knows where to get it done. He can walk you down there. Any additional matters for the record?
Another people, Your Honor, thank you.
Looking for the honest.
Thank you. You're all set, man. Thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.